Can't tell if I'm live or not yet. There we are. Perfect. It is popped up. Hey guys, happy Monday, the first Monday of 2021. It is going to be a great year, and I am super pumped to be kicking off my Monday with you. Now, I wanted to start kind of the first live of this year talking about what you actually need to start your freelance business, because especially if you're new or if you've been around before and you're kind of, making it really complicated in your head. I wanted to break it down, pare it down to the bare minimum. Here's what you need, and then talk about what next steps should be. So super excited for that. And then first of all, when you are starting your business, one of my big philosophies is to be really clear on your personal plan. Don't get caught up in what everyone else is doing. There's a lot of power in having focus and staying true to what you're working on. So I see there's some of you guys here. Can you hear me okay? I'm trying out a new mic system. The mic's situation with lives and stuff is just a thorn in my side. So if you could let me know if you hear me. And I'd also love to know, are you watching from home? Are you watching from work? Say hi so I know you're here. But let's get into it. So when it comes time to start your business, there are really 4 things that you actually need. 4 things. The first one, you need a service to offer. And okay, let me just back this up and say I'm talking a freelance service-based business as a virtual assistant, as a social media manager, as a graphic designer, web designer. Hey Miranda, so nice to see you. Awesome, thanks for letting me know. Ashley, oh, I'm sorry you have to go back to the office tomorrow. Ugh, I feel for you. I remember 5 years ago, this was when I was at my low of I've got to figure something out. McLaren was 6 months. We just had an amazing Christmas break, and then I was back at work. And not to mention, it's the January dreary, there's snow on the ground, it's freaking cold. So if that is you, one thing that brought me comfort in that last year was knowing that I had a plan, that this was I was working to find something different. Now, it took me a very long time once I started and found freelancing. I can do that in another live, but it took me a very long time to finally land clients and quit my job. I talk about that in my free workshop. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch that at all or not yet, but that's another great resource to get started. But anyways, once I kind of had okay, I'm doing something different. I found something. It helped to make the days better. I felt like there was a light at the end of the tunnel. I stopped feeling stuck. So the first thing, if you're overcomplicating this, if you hear starting a business and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have a business degree, all of these things, first thing that you need is you need a service to offer. And if you're not quite sure what that service is, again, I have that workshop that kind of will walk you through how to pick what service to start with, how to uncover your skill set. I've never met a person who has no talents or skills that they can leverage in the freelance space. I think there's this really strange thing that, maybe not strange, maybe that's not the right word, but there's this really weird, basically you're not alone if you're sitting there looking at your experience and trying to think, what could I even do? And you're telling yourself, I have nothing to offer, I have no talents. I think as women, we're just so used to helping people, we never stop to look and be like, oh, what am I good at? And we just kind of assume if this is easy for me or if this is a strength for me, it must be a strength for everyone. And that is not true. A great place to start if you're if you don't have a business degree, or maybe you're like, I'm not a strong writer, I don't have strong design skills, I'm unsure really, virtual assistant is the best place to start, is a great place to start. That's where I started. I believe I have another video. If you're like, what's a virtual assistant? I have another video on that if you wanted to check that out, but also in the workshop, I'll talk about it. Or I have a PDF guide too, if you prefer paper and pen. And I'll just drop those links in the comments for you, for those of you who want to dive into those resources. But the first thing that you need, again, guys, we're not going to overcomplicate launching a business. The first thing that you need when you are launching a freelance business is a service to offer. The second thing that you need is visibility, okay? And Jasmine, I saw you asked, where do you find your clients? So there's tons of different routes. What's going to depend on like which, route or plan you take is going to depend on who you want to work with. And I have podcast episodes. This stuff, like I could talk for 55 hours on this, but you can find clients in Facebook groups. That's where I would say a majority of the women I work with go to find clients. Clubhouse is a new social media app, but it blew up in the last week. And I just released a podcast episode today for how to use Clubhouse, 2 ways you can use Clubhouse to land clients, if you guys want to check that out. Facebook groups, there's leveraging your personal network. There's direct outreach. If you know of business owners, you want to, who you would love to work with and who you could absolutely help, you can do direct outreach and, connect with them first. So those are the main routes that I teach in my program. And then also there's different like job boards. We have one that comes with Overwhelmed to Overbooked as part of my program. I don't recommend the ones that are out there like Upwork or Fiverr for various reasons, but that's another route. If people go to Upwork and look at those, a lot of the jobs are super low paying, and so then they can get discouraged and think, oh, well, shoot, I can't start my business, or I would never be able to replace my income because look at how low, these people are posting bids for or whatever. So that's why I don't recommend Fiverr, Upwork, those type of sites. I recommend going out there and building relationships. And so the second thing that you need is visibility. And that can be simple. You can't get hired if no one knows about your business. So get out there and tell people about your business, or show up. Yeah, Jasmine, they are. Show up where your ideal client is hanging out. If it's Clubhouse, if it's Facebook groups, if it's, a local chamber of commerce. It's just going to depend on who you want to work with. So think about, okay, who do I want to work with? Where are they hanging out? And then put yourself in situations to be visible where they're at. So once you have a service and you're putting yourself out there, you're getting visible where your ideal clients are, the next thing that you need is paying clients. And that's the one thing that will take you from a wannabe business to actually making money. And you can't get there if you're not putting yourself out there. So if I'm happy, maybe at the end of this video, if there's some of you that want to talk like visibility, where to be putting yourself right now, I'd love to brainstorm that with you a little bit deeper. At the end, if you like drop in, just say something like need help, ideal client, or I would love to work with blank type of people. So you need a service, you need to be visible where your potential clients are hanging out, and then you need people to actually be paying you. That's all you need. Now, it's easier said than done, right? Because it's like, well, how do I know what service to offer? How do I get visible? How do I actually get people to hire me, especially when I am a beginner? In my workshop, I'm going to break down that process, kind of give you a high-level overview of that. So if you haven't downloaded that, grab that. Otherwise, what was I going to say? I love when this happens. I'm like on a roll and then I lose my train of thought. Otherwise, if you already have, this is like the high level. Now there are some foundational elements that will help make it easier to put yourself out there and actually land the clients that you are connecting with. And that's what I kind of teach in my program, Overwhelmed to Overbooked. But actually, the most important thing that you need, and this is a need, I fully believe you cannot succeed in business without this. And this would be my number one suggestion of what to focus on. If you are sitting there like wanting to start a freelance business, you're wanting to replace your income, you're wanting to create a better life for you and your family, you're wanting to be able to work on your terms, your time, without sacrificing your sanity, without sacrificing time spent with your family, the number one thing you need to work on is your mindset. You have to have a growth mindset. And if you're struggling right now, if you're doubting, if you're telling yourself all of these limiting beliefs now, the good news that it is something you can grow, you can improve, you can strengthen this muscle. And it comes from reading books and listening to podcasts and hearing stories of successful women who have done what you are wanting to do, and seeing yourself in them and their stories and the struggles that they share and how they were able to overcome it. So I would say if you're someone who really wants this, but you're just not at that place yet where you believe that it is truly possible for you, I can make some recommendations of some great mindset books. We talk about mindset on my podcast. If you drop in the comments like what you're struggling with, I will be happy to send you to a specific episode so you don't have to, shuffle through like all of them. If you just tell me like what you're struggling with, what you need, I'm happy to say, go to this episode. And then a really good one, if it is mindset that you are, that's holding you back, I would say everyone should listen to the episode I did with Jennifer Allwood. Fear is not the boss of you. I can't remember. I'll drop that one in the comments at the end. And then another thing that I notice holds people back, it's either mindset or it's like the like logistics of, is this possible? Like, is this real? And that's one thing I'm really working hard to overcome for a lot of people and show them what is truly possible. And my team and I were working with a Forbes reporter the last kind of quarter of 2020, and she's a freelance writer. And one thing that I noticed is all of these freelance writers, all of these articles that write for like Forbes and all these big sites that are posting all of these articles, you've probably seen them talking about how difficult life is for working moms, for stay-at-home moms, for moms during this pandemic. No one was offering any sort of a solution. And it just drove me crazy because there are the people writing those articles are freelance writers. They've created this flexible way for them to work, and all they're doing is just perpetuating the problem. So we worked with this amazing Forbes writer, Elaine Pofelt, and we actually did a podcast episode with her in January that talked about like the coming boom of freelancers, because one thing that's happened since the pandemic is the freelance industry has exploded. With Overwhelmed to Overbooked, which is my group coaching program to help people who are like ready to get started and want the fast track, I lose my train of thought so easily. I'm going to blame that on the baby. Elaine. One of the things we saw from, since COVID started is this huge growth. And with Overwhelmed to Overbooked, like people are talking about it out there, but I've literally seen it in my program. because we have that hire form. And before COVID, we were getting like 7 to 10 leads a week. Now it's 10 to 15. The software that I use to collect those leads and get them to the women in the program, we're able to take like 100 submissions a month. And from Thanksgiving to Christmas, we almost broke the hire form. Like we had like 3 spots left. So that was like 20, 25 leads each week coming to our program, not to mention all of the other, that's just like one way women I work with land clients, but that's a tangent. Anyways, Elaine came on and talked about where she's seen the freelance industry booming, and if the logistics of like this, you know, there's such a stigma when you hear work from home or I can help you make money online. The first thing we think of is that's a scam, or is this an MLM? And so I'm just trying to share as many stories of those that I've worked with, and we were able to do that in the Forbes article. If you go to michaelaquinn.com/Forbes, it's going to share the story of 2 amazing women that I worked with in my program, as well as give you tangible tips on like what you can do if you're eager to start. Here's what you need to work on. We talk about that in there, how to do a skills assessment, and there's real tips in that article. So check that out. And then if you guys have questions, let me know. The last thing I will say is there's, oh gosh, a lot of things happened over Christmas. And in case you missed it, if you're not on my email list or your email was just was flooded with emails and you just like marked all and delete, we are doing an Overwhelmed to Overbooked scholarship right now. So if the only thing from joining my program is like the finances, I would love for you to apply for our scholarship. We're accepting scholarships through January 13th. I can grab that link because I do not know what it is. I should know that. I'm going to work on grabbing that link for those of you that want to take advantage of that. And we'll announce the winner on January 15th. So if you win, you'll be notified on January 15th, and we'll get you access and you can get started on January 15th. Let me find that scholarship. And then I see some of you are dropping questions. I'd love to take a few minutes to come answer these. Okay, Ashley, if you're still here, let me know. My struggles, mindset, confidence, finding my niche and which services I should offer. I'm leaning towards general VA to start and find what I like and am great at. Which you think I'd have by now. I just bounce around. Okay. So Ashley, let's focus. You are getting started as a general VA. That's what service you're offering. So cross that off your calendar, or off your to-do list. Mark that done. Label virtual assistant. Finding your niche. Think about who you would want. Who could you help the best? Who could you, is there? And I have a podcast episode. I don't know if you listen to my podcast. Are you in OTO, Ashley? Because your name sounds so familiar. Or maybe I just see you commenting like in the group and everywhere. And then the mindset thing is going to be a constant work in progress. I am constantly listening to podcasts or reading audiobooks on mindset. Fear is not the boss of you is a great one. Everything is figure outable is a great one. I will say the only thing that kept me going through 2020 was the mindset work that I've done before and staying up to date on that. 2020 was a challenging year for me. I started out with these big goals, and while I did still accomplish a lot, I didn't, hit that one major mark. And I see a lot of people, I got discouraged, and I see so many people face a setback, get discouraged, and then quit. Because I've done all the mindset work, I can feel the discouragement. I can, feel the pain, be sad, be disappointed. But then I know, okay, this isn't the end. Like, this is not a stopping point. What can I learn from this? And having I can't speak enough to reading books and on that, listening to audiobooks on that. Fear is not the boss of you is a great one. I also love Marie Forleo's Everything is Figure Outable. These books aren't like, it's nothing that you've probably never heard before, but it's just great to hear it in a different perspective and hear it multiple times. There's no like secret magical formula that if you uncover it, it's just like constant reminders that, at least that's what I found. Miranda, I'm new to following you. I love the idea of all of this. I haven't been working since last spring, 3 kids, and I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but money hasn't allowed it. My question is for just starting with this idea, where and what should I start with your stuff? It depends, Miranda. Are you still here? Do you prefer like reading, or do you like watching videos? Because I'm a PDF. I love a good PDF. I have 2 options. I have a PDF and I have a workshop. Those are both free. Those would be the like best place to start to get like a crash course on what freelancing is, how to get started, and more about like who I am and how I can help you. And then from there, if you think freelancing is absolutely what you want to do, the fastest way to get started is my program. But I would absolutely start with those first. I dropped the links up there earlier. I'll just drop those in case you're not here anymore. Replying to you in a comment. Anyone else here? I see there's a few of you guys still here. Earlier I said, if you have any questions or like if you tell me where you're stuck, I'm happy to send you to a podcast episode to kind of, help propel you forward. And then I shared that we have the scholarship. Actually, if you have any questions, I'll give you some time to drop those in, but I'm gonna go grab that scholarship link right now. If you've missed it, we have reopened the scholarship to Overwhelmed to Overbooked. If you've been here for a while or, whatever, and the one thing holding you back has been financials, we do have payment plans. We have pay in full options. You can pay with PayPal, but if the payment plan option hasn't been able to work for you or that's what's been holding you back, I would love for you to apply for our scholarship. How do I share this? Let me grab the link. See, don't tell yourself you are not techie and can't do this. I'm not techie and here I am running a business. And I don't even know how to share this. Let's see. I just want to share it. I know how to share a normal Google Doc. I don't know why the form is so different. Let me see. Share. Get link. There we go. I don't think that's right. I know where I can grab the link. Oh, Mackenzie, you got it. Awesome. Thank you so much. I face setbacks. Okay. Ashley, you are in the course right now. Awesome. I knew I recognized your name. Yes, highlight that, Ashley. If you want to post your portfolio in the course group to get feedback, please, please, please do that. And then know that we are doing that accountability push right now, where we're going through step by step each part of the course. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is the accountability call for step 3, which is your packages and pricing. And those calls are in the evening at 8 p.m. Central Time. All of the info for that is in the course group. And then on January 17th, is that Martin Luther King Day? Nope, January 18th, we are kicking off another Land Your Next Client in 30 Days or Less challenge. So I would say now is a really, really good time. Find that motivation, go through the steps, and then join us on the 18th for that Land Your First Client Challenge. We're going to figure out what is the one thing that you need to do each day to connect with you, to get visible where your potential clients are hanging out, and then have the accountability to do that each and every day. And women who've done this in the past and committed to that consistent daily action were able to go from 0 to up to 4 clients in less than 30 days. And one of those ladies is Megan Schoenlieber, and she was in that Forbes article. So if you haven't read that Forbes article, go listen to, go read about how she got started. It's amazing. And but I would say the one thing that she probably had to her advantage was a strong mindset. And that's what you need to be able to show up each day. And sometimes that comes from like just ripping the Band-Aid and pushing through, finding that courage if you're scared or nervous and doing it anyway. I hate showing up on Facebook Lives. Like it takes me, I've got to like give myself a pep talk and remind myself it's okay if you stumble over your words or you lose your train of thought. But it's something that like when I'm doing that, like before I press go live, I'm sitting here for like 5 minutes, probably like, and I know that I want to help as many women as possible, and I know one of the best ways I can do that is to continue to show up live and talk about freelancing, even if that's putting me outside my comfort zone. But Michelle, I'm sorry you lost your job in November. That is just rough. I think you're not alone. Obviously, I hope you know that. But freelancing could be a great way for you. What did you do? What were you doing for work? Okay, guys, I'm gonna hop off. If you need anything, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'm very active in the Instagram DMs. Make sure you follow me there. Send us an email, hello@michaelaquinn.com. And it's going to be a great year. So cheers, and thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you.